following program is a SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University System of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
Such as Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Dan.
At 7:30 in the morning beside the Wayne Street parking lot.
Found in Blackwell Library over the weekend has led to an investigation by the university and SUPD. The drawing, which caused an outcry on social media due to its graphic imagery and racially charged language, was written on a study room's whiteboard. On Monday, the president's office sent a campus-wide email condemning the depiction and informing the Salisbury community that the incident is under investigation by university police. For more of the university's response to the situation, we sat down with university officials and SGA's Tyler Gibson.
So we wanted to move our Love is Louder banner from our Stop Hating Week events out into a public place where students could see it after the incident that happened over the weekend, just to show students that love is always louder than anything negative that happens either on campus, in personal life, about any aspect of a student's life, whether it relates to their race, their religion, their sexual orientation, their identity, whatever. And we believe that showing people love and respect is the way to get respect and to get love back. And to put other people down is never a thing that should be allowed on campus.
It is an ongoing police investigation, so I need to be very careful that I in no way impact the ability of the police to get to the bottom of what had happened. But clearly, publicly, you can see out there that there were some things written on a whiteboard and shown on a whiteboard that were absolutely unacceptable to the university. And to the point where when I became aware of it, the first thing that I did was contact the Institutional Equity Office and contact University Police and request that an investigation occur. And that's where we're at right now is University Police is actively pursuing information in regard to what was written on that whiteboard, with the hope that we're going to get enough information that we can get to the bottom of what actually has happened.
After doing an investigation, we find that those acts are discriminatory. The university will take strong steps and actions to address them and to make sure that everybody is in an environment that is free from discrimination. But again, what you're talking about is subject of a police investigation, which we are not at liberty to discuss at this time. University, from the president and all of us, we don't think that any kind of behavior like the one that is being discussed right now is acceptable.
And with the SGA trying to answer students' questions and concerns regarding issues of diversity and inclusion, it's surely something that next year's SGA Executive Board will have to deal with. We spoke with the two candidates running to fill that position, Vice President of Diversity.
We were going to extend our Love is Louder campaign after the incident that happened this past weekend. And so we've been meeting with the Multicultural Alliance. We met with them yesterday for an emergency Multicultural Alliance meeting to figure out what's something that the SGA and the Multicultural Alliance can do to work together on fixing this issue.
With the event that happened this past week in Blackwell Library, I feel like because we don't do big things right now with those 2 weeks, people aren't really getting the point. And I mean, that's not really something that we can change, but at least we can speak louder about the subject.
And you can vote in the SGA elections until Friday at 5 p.m., both online and in person, in front of student activities and inside of academic buildings. I'm now joined by Julia Howe, who is running unopposed to be the next SGA president and has been very vocal on matters of diversity on this campus thus far. Julia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What do you plan to do this year moving forward and next year especially to address some of these concerns involving diversity and discrimination on this campus?
I guess the biggest concern is bridging the gap between students and administration, because the whole purpose of SGA is to be able to do that. So take what's happening in the student level and bringing that to administration. In regards to what happened at Blackwell, the most unsettling thing to me was just the fact that the student felt comfortable enough to do that in a public spot on campus, which kind of just highlights the sort of community and campus climate that Salisbury's fostering. So I think we definitely need to work with administration to enact certain policies or even diversity training, because I don't know if there's one individual to be able to blame for something like this, because a lot of it stems from not being educated about, you know, these kind of issues. Maybe you grew up in a different kind of area or community, which is why you come to college and you learn certain things. So maybe freshman orientation, you have diversity training or a cultural awareness class that's incorporated into general education, which I just started sitting on one of the committees to oversee gen eds to see what kind of changes we can make.
You've talked about that before, moving some more inclusive and diverse classes into the gen ed program. What can the SGA truly do to affect change in this area? I mean, as you said, this was a student, this was not an administration move. What can you do to adjust student feelings and behavior?
I guess for students, you know, to dissolve the tension, you have to figure out a way to get students to care. Obviously, you know, minorities are going to care because it's an issue directly facing them. But the problem is, how do you get people of the majority to care about something that doesn't necessarily directly impact them or, you know, they see as an issue? So I guess, in my eyes, what could be beneficial is maybe holding events on campus that bring people together. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever watched Upload the videos where they like force you to sit across from a stranger, and it sounds silly, but it's a way that you connect with somebody and you forget about, you know, whatever labels are put on them in society, and you just need to connect with the person and forget about all the things that make you different from them.
Diversity is a hot topic right now, but you'll be dealing with a lot of issues next year as president of the SGA. What will be some of your other priorities? What are some of the other things you'll be looking to accomplish?
As I said before, my number one thing is general education requirements, because I don't think that students are getting out of them what their intended purpose is, because you still have students leaving college that aren't financially literate. You know, I can say that for myself. I don't know anything about taxes, or, you know, you don't understand, you know, global issues and current events and how media impacts certain things. So general education, as well as hopefully evoking some school pride and some school spirit that I think sometimes we may lack.
Finally, why should students be excited about you being their next president?
I think they should be excited about me just because I'm excited to work for what students want, and I'm highly motivated by making Salisbury the best campus that it can be.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Julia.
Thank you.
All right. And we have full interviews with all the SGA candidates on our YouTube page. Last week, SOAP announced that Jason Derulo would be headlining this year's Golf Fest. Some students had expressed confusion as to why there was only one artist announced this year, as well as other circumstances surrounding this year's event. Tonight, we hear from SOAP's concert chair, as well as the on-campus group that will be opening up the show.
We ended up with his name just because, since we only ended up having enough money for one artist, we couldn't necessarily do a country artist or a rap artist, just because the music tastes at Salisbury are so diverse. So we wanted to try to get someone like in the middle who everyone knew the name of. Jason Derulo has had 11 top 10 singles on the charts and has been relevant for the past at least 8 years. Everyone knows his name. Everyone has jammed to him at one time or another, so that's who we went with.
It'd be cool to promote like having fun, like just being yourself, like enjoying time with friends, that type of thing, without the whole turn up, you know, take your shirt off, like that type of thing. I think my hope is that people realize, man, you can have fun and enjoy yourself without drinking or being high on whatever's new to these kids these days. But you can have fun just listening to music and dancing around.
And now for a look at what to expect from Mother Nature, we go to forecaster Scott Purdy. And Scott, I hear things are looking good next week.
Yeah, we've got some pleasant weather ahead of us. It's not too active, which is great. No clouds or precipitation in the forecast. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. Sunny, 49 degrees, and cooling quickly. It's going to get pretty chilly tonight. We did max out at 55 degrees with some good sun, but it was warm if you were in the sun patches, with a low of 38 this morning. let's take a look at what we've got coming ahead of us. We have high pressure over top of us. It's going to stay over top of us throughout Thursday afternoon. That's going to keep clear skies. Beautiful day, but it is going to be a little cool. It's probably going to stay in the high 50s. Let's take a look at tomorrow. Next. Tonight is a low of 33 degrees, almost freezing, so I don't think we'll get a frost, but it will be a clear sky and light winds. Looking into tomorrow, we're going to have a high of 57 degrees and a low of 33. That's where we might get a layer of frost, but it should stay above that. And then it's going to be mostly clear and warmer in the sunshine. It's going to be a typical spring day where if you're in the shade, it's going to be cool, but if you're out in the sun, you can stay out there for hours. And we're going to have a pretty significant wind out of the east-northeast at 12 to 20 miles per hour. Taking a look at our extended forecast, you can see we have high pressure dominating the northeast. That's going to keep calm conditions all week. That's going to persist through Sunday. But as you can see, we do have a strong onshore wind, so it's going to be windy. There's going to be some significant waves in the ocean throughout the weekend. The high pressure starts to slide off as we have a weak cold front push through on Monday. That cold front will come across on Tuesday, but it's going to be very weak. We won't see any precipitation, maybe a sprinkle overnight, but it will cool us off 10 degrees or so. Taking a look, we have this weekend big event. It's going to be a beautiful day, but it is going to be quite breezy, 63 degrees. It's a good thing you're not raking leaves as much as you'll be pulling weeds and planting things since it is the spring. But looking into our 7-day forecast, tomorrow 57 degrees, mostly clear, few high clouds on Friday, could reach 60, and then Saturday and Sunday both are going to be beautiful days, Sunday especially, pleasant but breezy. It's going to be a windy weekend. And then Monday, 75, whoa. Small chance of precipitation on Tuesday, and then Wednesday it starts to cool off as that front passes over us. Back to Eli.
Thanks for that, Scott. And this is the 5th year that Tibetan monks are on the campus of Salisbury University to construct their mandala in Holloway Hall. The ritual in which millions of grains of sand are laid out in a complex pattern will take place until about Saturday afternoon to complete.
The mandala, it symbolizes the entire universe, we can say, in Latin cosmos. Right now, the mandala that we are creating here is the mandala of Manjushri. So in that case, you will see there is a resident mandala and the residence mandala. And the residents are the Manjushri and the families of the Buddha surrounding to him. And the residence, it shows the mansion where the Buddha abides with the entire surrounding.
And the closing ceremony will be held in City Park at 2 p.m. this Saturday. One of the longest-serving members of SU's faculty is retiring at the end of the semester after 44 years in the classroom at this university. Dr. G. Ray Thompson and his wife Claudia began teaching at SU in 1972. We spoke to him and Fulton School Dean Dr. Martin Paraboom about his contributions to the university.
From 1976 until 2002, I was either the associate chair or the chair of the history department. From 1982 on until now, I functioned on and off as the director of the research center. So it will be a change. I'm looking forward to it. We'll probably do some traveling. We felt very strongly that this was where we wanted to stay, and we became a part of the community as well as a part of just the campus itself.
How has his work with the NAB Center added to Salisbury University, and how have you seen it add to Delmarva as a whole?
Well, I think that this is a great point of connection with the community. Clearly, any community that doesn't know its history doesn't know itself. And I think he's been an incredible force, I think, in the community and has tremendous respect throughout the community. He both inspired generations of students to love ancient history, which is really his training and background originally. And then his other great contribution was as co-founder of the NAB Center, the Research Center for Delmarva History and Culture.
Without doubt, the fondest memories are memories of teaching. I came here in the fall of 1972 to teach Greek and Roman history, and I have loved teaching and loved working with students. That hasn't changed at all. I am going to miss being with students. That's one thing I definitely will miss, but it's time to go.
And on Thursday, students and members of the local community got their first look at the new Siegel Stadium. The new facility, which will seat almost 5,000, has been called one of the best stadiums in D3 sports. We were there and talked to coaches, alumni, and students who all seemed pretty excited to get to play and watch games at the new venue.
So for me, this building is really a tribute to all of Seagull Athletics, to all of our champions. It's just kind of special. I hope it'll bring more members of the surrounding community to campus. We've got 5,000 seats here. I think it'll be a recruitment tool, you know, as we try to attract the types of athletes that will ensure that we continue to perform well. And again, just like some of our other new facilities, it reflects the quality and stature of Salisbury University.
You know, I can't thank all the donors enough for what they've done to help us sponsor our lockers. You know, it certainly means a lot to me that this was so important to them that they feel that they can give back. I mean, it's the wow factor. It's just incredible. You know, we have a rich history and success here in our athletics, and this certainly is going to add to it. And, you know, it's just amazing. Really a dream come true, and I can't thank Dr. Janet enough for what she's done to make this become a reality.
It means everything. It's all about the players, just to see their faces, see the smiles on their faces. That's what this whole thing is all about. So I'm extremely happy for them. For a long time, we wanted a home to call our own, and it has happened today. So this is history. This is a new era. I think they have something to play for and be proud of to defend their home. I think that's what's going on. They have something to brag about to other students and to other teams, other programs.
It brings tears to my eyes. You know, I've been playing here for 27 years and had a lot of great players. It's a great step up for our players. It's really exciting. Been waiting a long time for this, and definitely going to help us at all levels in the recruiting for all sports, regardless of the teams that do or don't play in here. We're really excited, really excited.
I'm shocked, honestly, of how nice it is, and just the whole stadium. I think it'll really bring people out, come watch the games, and just bring the community together.
It's pretty special. I'm at a loss of words just walking through the stadium for the first time, seeing the locker room and everything. It's just really special.
It's just a great day for Seagull Athletics.
And with that, we conclude our broadcast for this week. For everyone at SUTV News, I'm Eli Modlin. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.